Oh, oh my gosh. There's audio. Sorry. Yeah, it wasn't supposed to be. I was supposed to mute the YouTube thing. Let me skip this ad. Welcome to the stream, Magic Monsters. Hello, how are you doing? That was a flying eye that just walked right by. So I woke up like this, dripping coffee today, and I thought to myself, I'm bored. Nothing's going on in the world, so I'm going to do a stream. See, so this is my game that I've been working on, Legend of the Stones. And a few weeks ago, I was working on I was bringing over this into this project from the last version of it. It had been a while. I had updated the game modules, the whole revamp there. So I had to basically not start completely from scratch with the Legend of the Stones, but I definitely had to redo some things. And one of the things I wanted to redo was the compass. And I thought to myself, well, that's a cool compass that I had. It was like from the asset store, but it was just a compass. It wasn't really actually anything. And I realized I want more. And so I built this, which you can see here is working. I'm not going to have all of these fancy things in the game. I don't think I need necessarily the edge outline, but maybe I do. Who knows? This is Northstar Navigation System. So I've been building this here in my Unity project. And I look forward to continue working on it in my Unity project because I know how to use Unity, and I'm really a big fan of all the community and education materials around Unity. And now that I've learned it over the past 10 years or so, I figure why not keep using it to keep making my game, right? One day I would love for this game to make lots of money. I've released 5 projects in my lifetime. The last one was years ago. And it was the big one called The Barbarian. Unfortunately, no longer on the store because Apple pulled it. It stopped working, essentially, and I can't update it because it was a Unity 4 point whatever project, and I wrote in the Unity script, and then I couldn't figure out at the time I had to do C# to update. There were so many errors, so I basically I gotta fix this bug. See that going up is unsteady. It's supposed to be smooth, and I think that's because there's a script to make you sort of hover up and down. See, I'm not doing anything now. Hands off the keyboard. I think those are competing, but anyways, so that was my last game, and it made some money. I think it made a total of, I want to say, I actually don't know off the top of my head, probably like $8,000 to $10,000 over the course of its life. Most of that in the first little bit. I think in the first month it probably brought in $4,000, and then the rest of the year most of the money, and then from that on it was like a coffee a week basically. Like every week it would make between $5 and $10. That maybe it's $5 to $7. It wasn't much. So those were that, and then I made other projects in Unity. I made Legend. No, that's what I'm working on now. I made Something to Think About, which wasn't a game. It was a cool little app that showed you quotes, and you could customize the background and the font and the colors, and take screenshots and post it to Facebook. So that was ahead of its time, I think, because posting screenshots with your words to Facebook and other social media seems to be really popular this week. So I think I was ahead of my time, really. I also had a game called Not So Simple, which was a not so simple puzzle game that just had these little circles, and you had to tap them, and they would change colors, and you had to make everything the same color, like a Rubik's Cube, but flat. That was fun. And then I made some kids game that people in Korea bought more than anyone else, but it wasn't that good. And then I made my first game that I released was called Photo Hunt Online, and turns out Photo Hunt is trademarked. So that got taken down off the asset store. Oops. Not the App Store. That was back in 2013, 14, something like that. A long ass time ago. So anyways, this is Legend of the Stones I've been working on. These are dumb flying eyes right now. They have a script on them. What we got here? I briefly made a script. Wander. NPC movement. And then they'll have this wander script with the details, NPC movement. Let's load that up real quick. We can look at it, glance at it. And it's not loading up for some reason. Why isn't it loading up? Oh, there it is. Okay, I had to click it 55 times. Yeah, so very, very basic. I mean, I don't know if it's basic. It's a script. NPC movement. It's now on both sides for some reason. And yeah, it just that has that, and then we have the wander. I don't know where. Let's close everything in this tab. Whoa, processing lots of changes. Anyways, it's scripted, but the big thing is I'm giving you direction in life right now. The direction is Northstar. And the latest thing that I added was the ability to override the colors. So as you see, as we go around, when these are able to see the player, they don't act on the fact that they can see the player yet, but when they see the player, the icons turn red. They turn red in the edge display, the overlay. So if we zoom out far enough, you can see the screen overlay, and they'll turn red there. They'll turn red on the compass radar in the top right, and they will turn red on the horizontal compass bar as well. So there are all the places, and that's something you can override. The Northstar is very customizable. Very customizable. And so that's what I've been doing. It's pretty much ready to go, actually, except that I need documentation. So if you go over to infinitypbr.com, by the way, if you go to infinitypbr.com, if you decide to buy anything from the Unity Asset Store, if you still use Unity, then click this See All Assets button, and you'll get to all of my wonderful assets with my affiliate code, and I definitely appreciate that. And don't forget, right now, 10% of all orders over $60. So pretty much everything's 10% off, because everything of value is going to be closer to $60, really. And by the way, I see Pavel was here earlier in the chat. I don't know if you're still here, but this is the wonderful Nature Manufacturer Meadow package. This is the demo scene, because like many developers, the easiest way to get started by making your game is just to use the demo scene from Nature Manufacturer. I'd clearly pay $50 just for the demo scene and nothing else. So there you go. Yeah, and the buildings from the medieval environment pack from Infinity PBR. Flying eyes are from Infinity PBR. So you can get all those on the Asset Store, and I appreciate that. And also Game Modules 4. It's probably my most powerful asset in the end. But it's a tool, not art, so you have to use a tool. But the scripting docs, if we go in scripting docs, you get all these cool documentations about game modules, game module systems, but we also have Northstar tracking systems. So I've been building the documentation here. We have quick start videos. I've made a couple videos already on how to do quick starts, customization. I've started this and done some work on these, apparently none on those, but I thought I had done a little bit more. Oh, I did a lot of the runtime. So, yeah, the runtime overrides, because the system, thank you, the system has three aspects to it. And we can see that here. So we have our compass radar, and we have this screen overlay. So those are the two main systems involved. They're separate. They act very similarly, but they're separate. They're both here on this canvas. We have the compass. Oh, let me go to the scene view. We have the compass up here. So it's a compass. That has various aspects. Now you can set things. So this one has a few things. It has a location circle. Turn that on and off just by doing that. It has north point. In fact, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to dock this over here, and so we can see it in the game view as well. I prefer being able to see both. All right, so you can in the system you can turn these aspects on and off just by viewing them here, just so you can visualize things. So we have the player always centered, doesn't move. We have the north point, which always points north. We have the location circle, which is always pointing at this compass target, but that's something that I can change at runtime. So if you have like that's this circle with the small blue dot at the top, that always rotates towards a specific target. So you can change that at runtime. But there's a whole lot of different compasses and radars you can do. So if we go to game object, Northstar, compass or radar, we get this little menu here. So if I dock this down here, you can see that you can replace it with all sorts of different compasses. Now, of course, these all come with it, but you can set up your own, which you might want to do if you're making your own game. So you can create your own. But there's a lot of options here, a lot of looks, and then we've got radar ones as well. So like here's a radar one, and I think this one actually pings the objects. You don't have to change anything. They'll just act accordingly because they know that there's a radar that's doing pinging, and so they'll respond accordingly. So there you go. Now it's being pinged, and you can see that their movement's only being updated when the ping gets up there. So there's all sorts of things there. The ping is also being affected on the other aspects of the screen overlay too. So even though the screen overlay stuff isn't itself a radar, it knows that the radar is being used, so it responds accordingly. And you can very easily change these just by clicking on them and saying yes, override it. And then in most cases, the info will copy over. If there's something like this, then it does need to be repopulated. So there's that. Where was... I guess I don't know. We'll do the well. Exterior building too. That's what I think it was at. Who knows? Yeah, so there's that. And then the other aspect is Northstar screen overlay. And you can enable and disable the global things. You got the screen overlay, which is the overlay just when you're viewing. It's on the screen. It's not on the edge over an object. You have the edge overlay. In fact, let me show the transition because I think it's pretty cool, if you don't mind me. You know, Josh, this is the. I'll say one thing on the whole trust because I get it, but two things. I'll say two things. And they're the only two things I'll say on it. One, do the math. Unity is still cheaper, but the trust issue. But I don't trust Unity might change it later. So might Unreal. So might Godot. One day Godot's not going to be free. You know, one day Godot's going to have stuff too. That's how it works. Our goal as developers, I think, is to produce great games and hopefully make money. And for me, since I know Unity for 10 years, I'm going to stick with it because why not? I'm not going to learn a new engine just to based on that, essentially. You know, anything can change at any time. All companies can do that. So we'll see what happens. But the edge and screen overlay. So the screen overlay you see on those, you can change the Y position so you can make it higher and stuff. But if we go over here, if we get one that stops moving for a little bit, you can see the transition between the edge and the screen. I guess we have to get one where we actually see, where we see the edge, the overlay too, the screen overlay. There we go. So screen overlay, and it transitions to the edge overlay. See that transition on the left? How they transition? Isn't that nice? That's one of my most favorite features, is that nice transition. Anyway, so you can transition between the edge overlay and but you can turn that off too, if in the settings and then you've got the horizontal compass bar up there. All those are separate. All those can be turned on and off independently. And what's exciting is that each individual object can actually return them on. That you can override and say, well, most things don't use the edge detection, but this thing does. This one thing does. This dragon does. This special item does, something like that. So there's a lot of customization options. So when we look at, I should finish by saying there's this overlay settings. These are the default settings for everything. There's a whole lot of options. For the screen overlay, the default icon, the default color, default size, whether you're using a size curve based on distance, opacity curve based on distance, you can set that. Edge overlay, again, lots of options there. Edge arrow, just that little arrow, you can turn that on and off. You can not have an arrow if you want. There's a lot of options there. The compass bar, again, more options, and then some other options just because why not more options? So these are the default settings, but you can create any number of settings. So if we look at our flying eye here, we have our two tracked target scripts. One is for the compass radar. So that's going to control it up here. Without this on, it won't show up here. And it's going to be relative point. That's the relative to the middle. And we have an icon. Not too many options there. It's fairly straightforward. For the track target overlay, we have this other Northstar overlay settings here, enemies. And that means, hey, this object will use this only if we're going to override the features. I'm doing well, Eric. I have no idea. The problem with the asset store sales is they're always up and down. Like 1 month might be, or how about this? One day might be like, whoa, what just happened? No idea. The next 5 days might have 0 sales. No idea why. So it's impossible to tell. I think it's fine. I think this month is just slow in general. It was slow before, though. I mean, it's been a very slow month. Probably like one third where it should be right now. Or less, actually less than 1/3, maybe a quarter of where it should be. So it's just a slow month in general. But that's just the way it goes. Sometimes you're up. It's like that Robin Hood song from Disney, Nottingham. Sometimes you're up, sometimes you're down. Maybe it's not like that song. Well, I can't play it for you because then I'll get demonetized. Okay, so Pavel's Nature Manufactures in the same boat, about 1/4. It's just it's I don't even know if it's like the stock market. I've tried very hard to figure out what the signals are, but there just are none. It's just the best a publisher can do is do what I'm doing. Do streams, do community building, make videos, make good stuff, produce new stuff, make updates. That's what you can do. And that translates over time to, more people aware of your stuff and more people interested in your stuff, more people buying your stuff. But ultimately it's that's the business, and there's nothing anyone can do about it in the end. So here we've set our Northstar overlay to this enemies ones. Look, there's a doors one for the doors. We have a layer order. So, in the depth layer, you got the layer order. You have a target type. This is a string you can do that way. In the override settings, when you're scripting overrides, you can say change all enemies to opacity 0, turn them off, or something like that. And then you got overrides, and this is where the power starts coming in here. You have the option on the left to turn an override on and off. If you turn it off, then the default will be used. If you turn it on, then you have the option to force it to be disabled or enabled for these main things. That way, even though the Northstar screen overlay has edge overlay disabled, flying eyes have them enabled so that they do show up on the edge, but nothing else. The doors won't show on the edge. Nothing else will unless they also have that enabled. And then for each one of these, you have additional options. Again, the first thing is whether you do or do not override it. You don't have to. Everything you don't override will just be use the default version. Everything you want to override, you can override. So we're overriding the alpha here. And all of these alphas, they're all AI generated with a hefty dose of photoshopping by yours truly. Took quite many hours. So those of you who think AI is super easy, it took me probably about 6 hours or more to do all of these different icons and stuff. So it was not easy or quick. But there's a lot of alphas and other symbols and whatnot that you can use in the project if you are okay with using AI stuff. But we changed the alpha there. You can change the color. You can change the size. You can change all these different things simply by enabling one of these to say you're going to override it and then choose the value right there, whether it's, whatever the value is. And so there's all the overrides for all those. So that's the second layer of customization. You've got the default, you have the per object overrides, and then the third part is what's in the scripting docs here on the runtime overrides. And this is where you can actually script overrides. So just call your Northstar overlay instance, set override max opacity for the icon and the opacity value. You can also, all of these methods, I'll have a version taking a string. And if you put in a string, then all of the icons of that type. So you could say all enemies opacity value equals 0. And, if you're wondering why the heck would I want to do that at runtime, here's some more of the methods. And then you just reset the same. So set override edge color, reset override edge color, just turns it off. Why would I want to do that? And I think I need to make a video for this with the game modules, but you can imagine like a perception skill or an herbology skill, right? Where you can get a skill and then suddenly there's more information on the screen. Or you can change the distance at which a player can see things or notice that there's an enemy. You know, maybe it defaults to 30 meters, but as they get leveled up, it goes higher. So there's ways of overriding these values so that the player can get more mechanics out of the game. So you can get more mechanics out of the game. So those are the 3 levels. You got the default, you've got the per item settings that are just default for those items, and then you have the runtime overrides, which are enable just a whole slew of customizations for you. Yeah. And then another demo I need to make is really, you know, when I play games like New World, they've got the override for, let's say, lumber or a carcass or something you can pick up, right? Something you can collect, a crafting item or something. That when you get really close, it turns on. Right now, these are all set to be pretty far away. In fact, Pavel, question for you is, do you have like in one of your packages a thing that can be like a berries or something that I can use as something you pick up, and then when you do, the berries disappear? You know what I mean? Because I've got my berries icons here, and I'd really like to have a plant like these flowers or something that when you get close, you can pick it up and basically demonstrate that, oh, here's how you do picking up crafting items, and you know, the icon shows and you can make a custom icon and stuff. Oh, I should have said the other thing is you can override all of these methods. So you can make your own custom implementations of all of these scripts as well. Something like that. His sweet red berries. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. So this up here, there's another demo I want to make. This up here is just an object, right? This is the horizontal compass bar is right here under the overlay. Here it is. It's just a prefab if you want it to be. You got all the different icons on it. But then you've got this title bar. And this title bar, well, this can be moved. Wait. This title bar can be moved up and down. It's probably hard to see. Let me try going to a darker. Okay. So you can... Oops. So you can move this title bar up and down, right? So I want to make a demo demonstrating that, oh, you can customize this as well. And every time you go into a new zone, it comes down and the title of the zone shows up here. And if you're in a town or something, that's something that New World does in other games too, I'm sure. And honestly, you don't even have to use these bars. You can make your own. It's just graphics. It's nothing fancy, right? The logic is separated from the graphics, and you can customize all the other details on the compass bar, the title bar as well. The all slew of things. So you got this here, and you can add evergreen objects. So I've got all these ticks and then the different directions. You can see them where they are in the project just by clicking on those. You can have the Y position. Let's see if this is runtime enabled. I don't know if it is. It might be. Sometimes they are, sometimes they aren't. I can't remember if this one is. The Y position of the stuff. No, it's not runtime. It doesn't look like it's runtime enabled. So anyways, the Y position and all this other stuff. So you can customize everything. Everything. So yes, that is that. Any questions about it? The actual project with the demo scene is over here. It's much less exciting, but this is the demo scene that comes with the project because, you know, it's just simple stuff. But there's these little balls that act as wolves. And you can't fly in this one. You can just move around, but you know, you can see all the stuff. So this big building, the light circle in the top right in the compass is focusing on this building. So as we get closer, that compass will rotate towards it and around because it's focused on that building, whereas purple's always going to point north. So if you're going north, you're going towards purple and all that stuff. So anyways, lots of cool stuff. What do you think, huh? I think he meant dingleberry. Ooh. If you can scale the top compass bar line so it's longer or shorter, can you control what percent represents the min-max for child elements? You might need to explain yourself a little bit more, but if you can scale the top compass bar so the line is longer or shorter, can you control what the percentage represents with min-max child elements? I believe you can with this value. Where'd it go? Let's find out. Actually, let's first confirm where exactly things show. So if I'm north, I see east and west before they start fading out. So it's 180 degrees. So if you want to make it less, oh, I was just not going down enough. That's what she said. So we can make this 90 degrees, and then I believe that should just be, yeah. Oh, no. Visible angle is 90. Wait, why is it longer? Did I have bad math? Oh, this one's runtime enabled. Interesting. Wait a minute. Glad you asked that question, Jason, because I think this is incorrect logic, right? Now when we do north, we still have east, west there. So something's up with my visible angle logic here. I've never actually changed that in testing. So it should be the angle at which you can see. So if you do 90, then it would be, you know, north through northeast and northwest versus 180, where it's north or south to east, west, and whatnot. And then the fade angle, see if this is runtime enabled. It appears to be. So that's the fade between how far you can get before it starts fading. So if we say 80 to 90, then as we get 90 degrees left and right, okay, so if we really want to do like 40 to 45, and then make this 90. Oh, okay, they're supposed to work in conjunction. There you go. So the answer to the question, okay, I'll have to check out the mountain package. I have that package. I'm pretty sure I have that package. So the answer to the question is you can get the visible angle changed by basically updating the visible angle and the fade angle to be in conjunction. So if we make this 365 and make this 180 and this like 170, you get the entire spectrum right there. West goes to west on left and right. However, the scale of the bar, that might just be separate in the end. Let's see. That's going to scale everything. So we really want the size of it, right? This stuff is... So you can definitely change the size of it that way too. That's not a setting in the system though. Does that answer your question? By the way, for those of you who are wondering, what the heck, mountain package? Let me go Infinity PBR, see all assets, and search for mountains. What's the name of the actual package? Mountain. It's probably just, yeah, mountain environment. There you go. Mountain environment. So somewhere in this mountain environment, there are bilberries, which I might bring over. But if someone who makes a lot of nature, some publisher who manufactures a lot of nature stuff were to make a nature collectibles package, I think that would be pretty popular among the people who buy stuff, you know. Yep, you can control that completely, Jason. That's the goal. Everything here is complete, so you can control. These lines don't have to be there. You can, just graphics you can set yourself. You can choose whether you put the directions or anything like that. All of that can be completely handled by you, and you can turn, you don't need to use the compass and all that stuff. So and honestly, like when I was showing Legend of the Stones, I'm not going to use all the stuff. I'm probably not even going to have a compass bar, to be honest. So it probably would be just the screen overlay, and these wolves, which are currently overriding the edge overlay, would not be overriding the edge overlay. So it would probably be more along the lines of this, and I'd probably have a different font for the north, south, east, west, etc., because I would have a different font. So it would probably be more like this, and it wouldn't be bright red, and it would probably be cooler graphics and all that stuff. So, but oh look, there's still one that has an edge overlay. Only one though. Only that one gets an edge overlay. Interesting. Everything else doesn't. And I need to figure out how to do the whole variable focus. So when you get close to this beautiful well with the real Ivy 2 on it, the Ivy's from Real Ivy 2, by the way, on the Asset Store, then you can see it in focus. Yep. So that's probably what mine's going to look like, rather than all the stuff. Because I'm with you on minimalism is probably my taste as well. Yep, you could do that very easily. I'm not going to demo it because I don't want to have to redo everything, but for the compass bar, you just turn off these evergreen objects so that you don't have them, and then add whichever indicator you want. So I've got a north point arrow right here, which is literally just that. That's all it is. And that always points north. So my next goal was really to do the documentation on it, because there's so many options. The problem is with options, when you get options, it also can be overwhelming for folks, right? Because there's just a lot going on, and there is a lot going on. There's a lot of different things. I've got all the tooltips here, so you can kind of go through that, and hopefully they make sense. Hopefully. I got fancy things like these check boxes to turn things on and off, eyeballs to view them, this to see them in the project or the scene, eyeballs to turn the whole section off to clean it up so you can focus on what you want to focus on. You got lots of cool stuff like that, but there's a lot of stuff. Oh, and the global settings is just made for you. This is automatically created. It just has the north angle and the world north. So if your north is not at 0, then you can adjust that. And the north angle as well. I'm assuming that north is going to point up, but if you're in ancient Egypt, perhaps it points down. I don't know where you live or when. So you can do that too. That's just automatically created when you for you. So if you delete it, it'll just be recreated and relinked in the other stuff. Yeah, and I think you just create stuff Northstar. Yeah, so overlay settings right here to create new overlay settings. Or you can copy settings from another one, which, so it's different settings for each one of those. Lots of settings, all scriptable objects. Wonderful stuff. Wonderful stuff. Just pat myself on the back. Documentation, though, is pretty boring. So I think what I might do instead of documentation, if it's all right with all of you, and tell me if you think I'm batshit crazy. It's Friday. It's been a long week, and it's Friday, and I've got my coffee. I got my coffee, and I'm going to drink some more. I think I might just work on Legend of the Stone stuff. Or, oops, you spilled coffee on my mouse pad. All right. Or I can demonstrate a pickup. Yeah, let me do that. Let's demonstrate a pickup. Here in the demo scene. That seems more appropriate. I was just saying I wanted to do one. So let's demonstrate a pickup. Let's create a target object. We're going to create an empty one. We're going to call this berries. I was going to call it dingleberries, but then that's just crass and rude and funny. And I don't want to be any of those things except for one. 2 lies and a truth. 2 truths and a lie. All right, here I go. 2 truths and a lie. I once met Michael Stipe, had a conversation with him for a short while, and lied about whether I saw his movie Velvet, whatever it was. And I think he knew I was lying. That's 1. 2, I once met Pierce Brosnan on the set of James Bond and got to shake his hand. Even though I wasn't supposed to shake his hand, I did it anyways. Or 3, I was once on an episode of Beverly Hills 90210, and Luke Perry said, "What's up?" to me, because he was directing the episode, and he was talking to Donna, who I forget her actual name, but he was talking to Donna, and I was standing next to Donna, and he looked at me and said, "What's up?" Because I had long hair, and it was sprayed purple, and it was really ugly, but that's what I was told to do, and yeah. And I have no idea if you can see me because that's the one episode on Netflix that for some reason isn't actually there. Those were 2 truths and a lie. And now let's make a dingleberry. So our berry is going to be here. We're going to create a new child under here. We'll make primitive objects. We'll do a cylinder. Where's our berry? And I don't know how big this is. Where's our target? Why is our target all the way over here? Right? Somewhere I messed up and made the targets really far from 0. Anyways, all right. So our berries are not going to be here. If our wolves are that big, our berries have to be smaller. Is it actually that far away? No, it's this thing. Oh my gosh. Okay, create new empty object. 0, 0, 0. Move all of these there. There we go. Delete that. Target objects. Fix that problem. Now they're all in a more reasonable position. Holy cow. All right, move my berries now. All right, 0 at the position here. We'll say 0, 0. And make our cylinder smaller, maybe 0.2, 0.5, 0.2, and raise it up. Okay, and then we will do I guess another cylinder. We'll just try to do this very quickly. Branch, and then this is going to move up. We're going to make it even smaller, 0.5, 0.5, 0.5, and then make it rotate like this. Whoa, what just happened? Why is it rotating like all weirdly? Okay, let's make it not a child of that. All right, that was the issue. Make it a little bit longer. Oh, maybe not that long. And just gonna make a couple branches. Bring these to the center. There's some branches there. I guess I could have made each branch a prefab, but I'm not going to. And then we're going to have berries. So create an empty object, the berries. And this is going to be there. That's fine. And then we're going to create some spheres. And these spheres will be the actual berries that we will collect. So I'm going to make these red. Where are my materials? Don't have a red. We're going to make a light brown and a red. Looked like, oh, I actually copied dark gray. No, okay. This is how we do it. All right. Ooh, let's make the berries blue. I like blueberries better. One of my favorite kind of jokes to tell kids is when we go to the movies and they get a blue raspberry icy, and I say, why is it blue? There's no blue raspberries. That's not a thing. And they get a little bit confused. And they're like, you're weird. And I say, yes, that's true. All right, so we're going to make a few berries. Put some berries here. Put some berries. Put some berries. Put some berries. Wonderful berries. Look at all those yummy, yummy berries. Berries. All right, so those are our berries. All right, so we're gonna now make this a prefab. All right, and then we're going to add, what do we need to add? Northstar, compass bar, no, overlay, target, tracked target overlay, and tracked target compass bar, compass radar. Relative point, we need an icon, so we're going to go to our Northstar sprites, look for, I think it's symbols, yeah, we'll do this symbol because they're blue. Need the sprite, I guess. Oh, no, we need the icon. My bad. So just to remind myself, the track target, there we go. Okay, the tracked target icon, blueberries. And so this just has all the details. Well, I guess I could make a editor script for this at one point. But anyways, the details here, it might not make an editor script for that because it's not something that you would generally edit directly like that. So maybe I shouldn't make an editor script, but we'll do that there. And then here we will do blueberries, not this one, sorry, this one, blueberries. All right, so we have our target icon, blueberries, relative point. That should be done now. In fact, we can just test it. Let's just see if it works. Do we see it in the top right? What do we see? I think I see it. Can we zoom in? Yeah, it's right there. Okay. It's just hard to see, but it's there. So it is there. In fact, let's see if I can make the compass really freaking huge, then it might be easier to see. There it is. And now we see it in the top. So there it is. All right. So yes, that's showing just fine. Let's turn that off and reset all this. Okay. So that's showing just fine. Now we're gonna make it work with the overlay aspect. So we're gonna call this target type is gonna be berries, or maybe we'll call this pickups. I don't know. You can call it whatever you want, really. Layer order, I don't know. We'll leave it as 0. Position offset by this 0.25. Actually, no, for this one, 0.5. I think the 0.5 is right near the top. We need some overlay settings. We don't have this yet, so it's going to be like the wolf, but instead we're going to duplicate the wolf and call this blueberries. And for blueberries, we can default change the default stuff. So we're going to change the symbol. Where's my symbols? To blueberries there. We're not going to change the color because this is actually a colorful symbol, so it has color already. Everything else, I'm just going to leave the same, I think. Edge overlay has that as well. Edge arrow can be staying the same. Compass bar. Oh, there's this button. I should have just copied that. I made this nice button where you can just copy the screen overlay. So if you populate this, you can just kind of copy these over to copy the details over if you want, because that's going to be a common thing. And options, distance. Okay, so this is a different one. Screen determines the maximum distance for activating the screen overlay. So we're going to activate this only when we get, say, 5 away. And say 5 away there too. And let's see if this, oh, I didn't set it. So let me undo. And I have to turn this back on. So make this the blueberries. All right. We're not yet doing any of the overrides though. So actually let's set that up too. What are these? Oh yeah, if you have a custom icon that has custom logic, you can add that here. Otherwise, it'll be the default one. We're going to change the sprite, but it's still the default one. So later for the berries, since we want these to be pickups and we want to show like some sort of UI that shows, oh, you're picking it up, like in all the games, like New World and stuff, then we will have a custom icon. For now, we don't need that. So we're going to look at our overrides here. We're going to turn off our edge overlay, so it's not going to show on the edge overlay. So override that value and then ensure it's disabled. For the compass bar, we're going to make sure it's enabled. I think these are enabled by default, but we'll set these anyways. For the screen overlay, we do want to update the icon. Why is this saying pickup 3? Oh yeah, pickup 3. That's why, because I didn't name it blueberries. I named it pickup 3. And I guess the others, we'll override the icons and the rest will leave the same. I should move this higher and organize it. Anyway, so we'll leave those the same, and let's just see what happens. All right, so there's our berries in the top, showing that. When we get here, it's not showing up, probably because there's another thing that's keeping it. Oh, okay. Now it's showing up when we get further away. Oh, because we didn't override that value, didn't we? Okay. So let's override that value for the screen overlay. Oh, do I not have distance here? Wait a minute. Here we go. Screen distance and edge distance. So we're going to turn those two on. These ones are updated live. So now when we get closer, it should turn on when we get close instead of farther away. There we go. So that's that. And then the other thing is the where's my mouse? There it is. Okay. So no, that's in the other project. Anyway, I was trying to freeze the look. But the other thing is the Y offset, right? Not for the compass bar. Oh, is this one not here? Ooh, that's something to add. Wait a minute. I swear I just told you all about the height. Where was that setting? Oh, it's right here. All right. Oh, and I didn't save my values here. All right. Now, there we go. So now it's higher. So as you get, now for this one, as you get closer, the icon shows up and you can do stuff. So now in your game, you know, how you deal with this, whether you interact with things with the space bar or something, up to you. but you could do a click where the player has to click on something, completely up to you. But now we've got a thing working there, and we're going to update the thing. In fact, you know what I should do? Because we have this berries object, but the berries are here, and this is a thing that we're going to turn off if they turn off. So we want this icon to turn off with them. So I think what we can do is copy these just over to that. Let's see. Copy component. This component is new. And then if I turn these off on this, we should see the exact same result. Yeah. But now, later when we go to turn the berries off because we've collected them, they'll turn off all the overrides too. So the berries will disappear, and so will the tracking will disappear with it. So it just automatically turns off, which is pretty cool. You know what I don't like? The sludge that happens. I don't know, you can't see it probably, but the sludge that happens at the bottom of the coffee. I don't like it. Well, you know, this is the new Godot, because this is, I mean, here we are. What year is it? It's now 2028, and Godot has just upped their prices once again. You know, I just remember when Godot was free. They were the one that all the cool kids were going to because it was just free, and now that they've been updating their prices, now they're all corporate. I mean, ever since Epic bought them out, they've been upping their prices, and I just can't. So I'm you know, this is Unity. I've gone back to Unity after 5 years now since you know, the great Unity fire of 2023. I left, and now it's 2028, and Godot's expensive. So I've left Godot, and I'm back to Unity. Yep. And President Trump is ready for his 4th term. And the aliens, turns out they were all fake. They weren't real. It was all just a big psyop this whole time. Yep. Make games, not war. Position. All right, so let's customize these now a little bit. All right, so we have our berries. We're going to override this, and then we're going to make this happen. So I've not done this before, so this is brand spanking new. This is good stuff. I was actually supposed to do this in a video. Maybe I still will, but this will be a good education experience for me to make a custom overlay thing. So let's break it down. We have our screen overlay with our overlay icon. This is our common overlay icon. So I'm going to create a new folder, Northstar custom overlay icons. We're only going to have one. And this has a Northstar icon on it. It's the arrow. This is the default. Distance checks. I think I might remove that because turns out doing a check by distance isn't that big of an issue. So let's just copy this. We're going to call this icon blueberries. They aren't blueberries. They're blueberries. I don't know if Ergadin is still alive. You'd have to tell me. You're the one who apparently lives over in Turkey. Or how do you pronounce it? Is it still pronounced Turkey? Or is it pronounced differently now? Hold on. I need to turn the ceiling fan up higher. It's getting warmer in here. And so the ceiling fan must be turned up more. Summer's almost over. I moved to this area where summer lasts longer. It's still in the 90s Fahrenheit here, and it will be well above 80 or so for a while So it's warm and I like it, but I'm not happy that it's not going to be warm because I don't like it cold. Some like it hot. I don't. I do. I mean, oops. Oof. I like it hot, not cold. Rather have a hot day than a cold day. All right, so we have our Northstar icon. Okay, let's think about this. So we need to make a custom overlay icon. I'm gonna try something. Let's wait a minute. Oh. This is good education for me, remembering how the hell I set this up. All right, so we put our pickup there. Wait a minute, why is that still... Oh, that's the arrow. Shoot. Okay. Undo, undo, undo. Okay. So this is our blueberries. I don't know why. Okay, I know why. I was looking at wait a minute. Wait a minute. What the hell am I? Oh, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Okay. So custom screen icon. It's going to be berries. No. Blueberries. And this, that's the arrow image. That's why it was doing that. I was confused because I was selecting this when I was clicking this, but the arrow image is a child. Yeah. Okay. So this is the overlay icon on for blueberries, but we're going to create a new script. So let's load up this script in our correct one. The other day I did a lot of work and I was in the wrong damn project and it messed me up a little bit. See, I can't stand cold. Everyone's different. Everyone's different. I like it warmer. I like it's warm in here, but I got the ceiling fan on, so there's a breeze. Perfect. Perfect. What was the script called again? Overlay icon. So I think we need to make a new version of overlay icon. And if I'm not mistaken, basically for all icons which are displayed on the compass bar and screen overlay, you can override this and create your own custom icons. Excellent. These methods should all be public virtual methods. There's a lot here because when we look at the options for overriding, if you get the screen distance max, well, are we overriding the screen distance max? If so, use that. Otherwise, get the target one if we're overriding the screen distance max. Otherwise, get that or the default. So there's a lot here, but we don't have to override everything. All right, so we are going to make a copy of this. Or not a copy of it. We're going to do a new class that inherits from this. Overlay icon. So we're going to call this... create a script, and we're going to call it pickups overlay icon. In this area, it can go below freezing at nighttime, I think. Let's see. Let me see. Temperatures in... It's a good question. I haven't experienced a full winter here yet. I've been up here in the winter when I visit friends. Oh, so nice. It's 87 right now. High of 92, low of 61. Fahrenheit. Let's see. In C, that's a high of 33, low of 16. Overtime. I'm looking for averages now. I like this question. Annual weather averages for where I am in. The average, it looks like December and January and February are the coldest, where the average is 5°C at night. And January, December are the coldest with an average of 13°C during the day. What is that in hero temperatures? In hero temperatures, that's 13°C in F is the average highs of 55 and the average lows of 41. Yeah, so it's not that cold. It's not, I'll still go walking. I'll wear a jacket and I'll take the jacket off and I'll come back in a t-shirt and pants, right? But thank you for the good luck with my game. But yeah, so here I'll show this table for you to see, or not. Here, whoops. There you go. So that's the averages. Not many rainy days, because this is California and we don't have water. Yeah. So summer basically lasts from May through October. You get some colder nights, but very nice. And then June, July, August, it's been amazing. Night times are amazing. Everything's amazing. Everything's dry as hell. So there you go. All right, that was good. We talked about the weather. Now we can move on with our date. How's the job going? All right. So what were we doing? Oh, yes. Overlay icon. We're going to make this inherit from overlay icon, which means we need the missing type, which is Magic Pig Games, not Northstar. By the way, for those of you who are aware of Infinity PBR, I want to change the name to Magic Pig Games, which is an actual company name from the current one. And so I'm slowly transitioning. So if you look on the asset store, it's now Infinity PBR / Magic Pig Games. At some point, it's going to be Magic Pig Games / Infinity PBR. And at some point, it's just going to be Magic Pig Games. But since so many people know the name Infinity PBR, I have to be slow about it, So this is going to be released under Magic Pig Games namespace. All right, so what are we actually going to override here? I don't think we need to override stuff so much as show something else. So if we look at our berries here in our Northstar icon blueberries, we have on it a overlay icon. We're going to do a pickups overlay icon. It doesn't get the fancy stuff. So actually, I wonder. Let me think. So what I'm really going to show here is a sort of progress bar that when you interact. So first, something that you can interact with it. 2, it's going to show some sort of progress bar, rotated or not. I know Christina Makes Games, I think, has just had a wonderful tutorial on how to do a rotated progress bar. So maybe I'll watch that and make it rotated and learn from her. And so when you interact with it, that goes down for a few seconds, and then you pick up the berries, which is a common game thing, right? So the question is, do I need this to be inherit from that, or do I just need the circle? I think I just need the circle, in which case the more efficient way of doing this is not to inherit this from this. Instead, make it a mono behavior, and we'll just call it a pickups overlay, or pickups indicator. We'll say indicator. And something happened here. Okay, pickups indicator. And this will be a separate thing. So we still have the overlay icon that will work as normal, but we're going to add a new thing here that goes around that. So, how do we make a quick little thing? So we're going to need a UI. I guess, what do we use? Panel? Let's see. YouTube. Is it Christina Makes Games? Hey, look, that's us. Ooh, Inception. Christina Makes Games. Creates games. That's it. And resource bar. So she just had this wonderful. Here, I'm just gonna type it here so you can all watch it later and go like and subscribe to her. She has this wonderful tutorial that I didn't get to watch all of yet, but in it she does talk about doing rotated bars. Where is that demoed? Maybe it's at the beginning. Anyways, I'll have to watch that later. But she has a whole thing on that. So definitely check out that video. We're going to start with the horizontal one just to keep it simple. So we are going to create a UI image. And we'll do what she did, and we'll do like progress bar background, and create another image, and we're gonna call this progress bar. And for the background, we'll make this darker. And for the background, we'll keep it light, but we'll change the scale to be, is it the scale or the width and height? 90/90. And then for the background itself, we will now adjust the total scale. Oh. Does that not change the scale of its children? Let's do something different then. We're going to create canvas, UI canvas, or not canvas, a panel. Progress bar. And we'll make these a children of that. And then make this smaller. That still didn't do the trick. Why isn't it doing the trick? I thought it would do the trick. Is it because I don't have these? It's probably because I don't have these. I'm supposed to do. What am I supposed to do? Oh yeah, this Alt. Do that. Maybe that's why. There we go. All right. So now I need to make this 5/5, 5/5, and then I really don't like UI stuff. There we go. That's the ticket. Okay, we'll make it a little wider. Top 100, right -30, left 30, -30, bottom -20, and progress bar here we'll just do a 2, 2, 2, 2, position Z 0. Okay. All right. So this is going to be our progress bar. I wonder how she did the middle. How do you think she did the middle? Is this just moving the left here? Probably. And then it's done. All right, we'll do that. So first I'm going to save this in case Unity freaks out on me, which Unity never freaks out on anybody. The world never gets freaked out by Unity. Ever. And Unity never freaks out on our projects and accidentally quits. Sometimes, never. All right, so then we're going to do our script here. We have our script, right? We have our pickups indicator. So we're going to do a couple things on pickups indicator. I'm going to close all other tabs. Oh. I accidentally closed the wrong things. Close tabs to the left. All right. So now we just have this. So our pickups indicator, we need to know the progress bar. So this is going to be a image progress bar. And we need to import UI images. And then we need to know private float progress bar empty width. That's good. I got GitHub Copilot on this, so private void awake, and we're gonna set the width to that. It's not going to be that though, Copilot. It's actually going to be, what was it, left or right? Because width will just make, whoops, wrong button. Width will just make it go, well, there's no option here for width. But we need this, which is left. We're changing the left down to something. How are we going to do that? How do you do that? How do you make this go down one direction? I mean, we can hard code it, I guess. So when this is 160, or maybe that is, let's do a debug.log. Progress bar width is progress bar width. Whoops. Okay, let's see if this works. We're gonna save it. I don't know if this should work. Let's see. Let's just see if it works. What I'm thinking is the width is going to be 160. But look, we didn't get the right progress bar here. What icon did we get? Oh, screen overlay. We didn't get it at all. This is the one, and it's not the right icon. This is Northstar icon. Did we not assign it? Is that the issue? Berries. Custom screen icon, Northstar icon, blueberries. Okay, so perhaps oh, I know. We moved these to the berries. Okay. Maybe it'll work now. There it is. Okay, good. I always hate it when I'm doing something live and it doesn't work as expected. All right, so we have a null reference exception, and that's right here because we didn't set the progress bar. So we should do that. Progress bar. I guess we'll set it in our icon here. Progress bar. All right. 156. All right, so we have the width. Okay, so what we're going to do is make the left go to that value to be 0. So we're going to change this to just bar width and change this to have my little underscore in the front. So we have the width is 156, and that means that hold on, is this a spam call? Yes, probably spam call. My gosh, I've had this phone for 3 years. So I've had this phone for 3 years, and then just like 2 weeks ago, I did that and dropped it on the ground and cracked it. So now it's not worth anything as a trade-in. So I guess one of my nieces or nephews are going to get it or something, because Apple won't take any. They'll recycle it for me, but they won't give me $200 for it. So I just spent $1,100 on a brand new phone, and the thing is, we don't really use our phones as phones anymore. Because most of the text messages I get, well, that's actually not true. A lot of the text messages I get are just spam, and almost every phone call I get is spam. So I don't have my phone turned, like I don't have the ringer on, so I never know when somebody's calling because it's always spam. Anyways, you know how it is. You live in this world too. All right, so we're gonna do a update progress bar, rect transform, set size with current anchors, bar width. No, this is not quite right. We're gonna say set bar left position to be width time progress width. Bar width times progress. Okay, and then GitHub Copilot will write it for me, and we'll see if that works. And then on our private void update, we're gonna demo just ping pong left and right on update progress. Update ping pong update progress between 0 and 1, just to demo it, so we can see it working basically. And by the way, if you're not using GitHub Copilot, it's worth the money. It's like $10 a month or something right now. It's worth it. I think I'm also using the Writer AI. This is the beta with the writer, and it's got bugs, like, so be careful, because like if you try to move a class to its own file, it won't work right now, at least in my version. But the Writer AI is great as well. So let's see if this works. Boom, son, done, son. Look at that. It's ping-ponging left and right. So that works. All we have to do now is just basically run it. So we can avoid this update. We don't need an update. We're going to do a how come you don't have access? I think you just have to download you have to download the early access program one, the EAP. So it's a different, I got Writer here and the Writer EAP here. And so that's like the early access one. That's why there's still bugs in it. And it's part of that. But I think it's better than ChatGPT 4, which I'm still paying for. And I think I don't know how it compares to Unity Muse yet, because I haven't used that enough at this point. So I would hope eventually the Unity Muse would be way better because it's Unity. But having it built into the Writer is really helpful too. So there's all these ups and downs, pluses and minuses. So what we're going to do here is create a method to say public void start progress. What we need here is a speed though, right? So let's do a header plumbing and type it right. You know, I got the term plumbing from Jason Storey, I think was the first one. Or was it Wyman? Wyman was the first one that I learned the term tick from as an update keyword or method. I was so confused. Tick? What the heck is tick? And then I realized, oh, it's just updating a non-mono behavior. You call tick from a mono behavior, and then it does an update loop or similar loop in the non-mono behavior. Yeah, but plumbing, I think Storey was the one I first saw plumbing. I was like, I like that. Okay, and then options, and we're going to do public float so I'm thinking about the game New World now, and since I want to demonstrate how to make something that is like New World, to pick up an item takes X time multiplied by some multiplier of your skill. So less time if you're fancy. So we're gonna say it takes 5 seconds. So we're gonna call this pickup time equals 5, and we're gonna have another value for. Really? I didn't know that. And that's for the writer one? I know the Unity AI is a waiting list, but I didn't know that the writer one is now a waiting list too. Probably because people like me, when I'm using it, I like use the shit out of it. I'm just like asking it questions left and right and doing all sorts of stuff. Damn. It's probably because it costs money. I don't know how much it costs them, but the value is totally there. You can't subscribe to all these different AIs, right? Like at some point, it's like I'm only going to use one. I'm going to choose one and use that one because like you can't subscribe to all of them. It's just too much money. So we're going to do a public float speed or pickup time modifier and 1F, and this is going to be placeholder for custom speed modifier based on player stats / your game logic. So that way, if you get better at picking stuff up, you pick it up faster, or slower if you've got a debuff or something. Who knows, something like that. And then we're going to do another private float progress, and start progress is going to say progress equals 0. Yes, because, okay, progress equals 0, and then we're going to do start coroutine. What are we going to call it? Public void public IE numerator pickup. Yield return null. Okay, pickup. All right, so we're going to start the coroutine pickup. And while progress is less than 1, progress, update that. Delta time divided by pickup time times pickup time modifier. Update progress to that, yield return null. Boom. And once progress is 0, we're going to say pickup complete. And this is going to have to do something. So for now, we're just going to debug.log pickup complete. Do something here. Yay. Do something here. Yippee-ki-yay. And we need a public void cancel progress. And this is going to be if pickup whoa, don't delete everything. Holy cow. Let's hear it for the undo button, everybody. Hear it for the undo button. Whoever invented that. Stop all coroutines? Will this stop all coroutines on everything or just the script? Let's ask. Does stop all coroutine stop all in project or just this script? And look, you can do the typos and it knows. On the current mono behavior. All right, good. That's good to know. All right, so stop all coroutines, update progress to 0, and be done with it. All right, so let's just quickly make some of these more clean and tidy by making them expression bodies when they can be made expression bodies. Whoops, wrong one. Okay, this can be private. Just private void. Pickup complete, we'll do more later. Pickup is that. So I'm going to move this up here. Okay. Okay, so now we need the interact to do start progress and cancel progress. So we're going to go to the berries and add a new script. We're going to say, call this pickup. Yeah, we'll call it pickup. Put it on the berries. And also on the berries, we need pickup's indicator. No. Okay, wait. We need to get a reference to the pickup's indicator. Pickup's indicator is on this. We need a reference to that. So what we're going to do, let's see, on our pickup class, we're going to do private pickup's indicator, and then not quite right. On awake, we're going to do start coroutine. So let's build a private enumerator, find pickups indicator, yield return null, and then we're going to do start coroutine, find pickups indicator. So that's because I know at the beginning we're not going to have the pickups indicator because that's going to need to instantiate and stuff. So we're not going to have it at the beginning, but we'll start the coroutine and then on our private void, well, on anything else we'll see, we'll do a private bool has indicator, and this is going to be just return. We'll do a property. Return that equals, does not equal null. Okay, so if we have an indicator, has indicator, then we'll return true there. So when we load up this, the icon's going to show up, and I believe the track target overlay will have a reference to itself. So we can do a header plumbing. How many of you guys use headers and stuff in your scripts by default? I try to always do it. It just looks so much nicer. And then I'll do the custom inspectors when I want to as well. Public. Oh, interesting. Public. Tracked target overlay. Tracked target overlay. So we're going to have that reference. And then I believe track target overlay will have a reference to the active screen icon. But we will check that in a second. Okay. Custom screen icon, custom compass bar. Runtime only. Overlay icon. Why are these the same? Oh. Just change these to get icon. Okay, so Northstar overlay instance get icon of this. So it's going to be screen icon. Okay. We're going to say var. What are we looking for? Pickups indicator. No, we're looking for the screen icon equals. Let's do this. Private game object screen icon. Screen icon equals track target overlay dot screen icon. Can't get that. It's gonna be an overlay icon. Okay, and then if screen icon equals null. No, this isn't right. This won't work. So while pickups indicator equals null, set that. And if screen indicate icon does not equal null, then pickups indicator is going to be screen icon get components and children pickups indicator. Yes, that's what it's going to be. And then yield exit, yield break. Otherwise, yield return null. Okay, I believe that's right. And then here I just realized yield break. Okay, let's see if that works. We'll see. Don't forget to like and subscribe, everybody. I appreciate it. All right, let's just press play and see what happens. Null reference. Oh, okay. Track target overlay screen. Oh. So where the instance isn't yet ready. So this is going to have to be the change there. So we're going to have to check for null on the instance because, of course, we're checking before it's ready. So it's throwing null because it's not ready yet. All right, so there we go. Well, I mean, actually, I don't know. It appears to be working, but I didn't do any callbacks. I didn't do any debug logs to say it was working, so I don't actually know. So pick up here. Debug.log pickups indicator is found. Okay, let's just confirm that before we move on. All right, it's found. So that's great. So now we're finding the pickups indicator. It's going to happen like on frame 2 or 3 or something like that, I think, maybe 2. Because of this start coroutine. It doesn't happen in the first frame. And so we have the indicator. This is going to return true. While not has indicator, then we're going to look for the indicator. Otherwise, yeah, we return null. We can actually reverse this, can't we? So while it has to reduce our nesting a little bit, just a little bit, while it has indicator, we're going to yield return null. No, that's not the right way. Yeah, it's fine. This is the way it should be. Okay. Oh, yeah, we need the while, otherwise it won't keep doing it. Okay, that's fine. Don't overthink it. That's a good life lesson, but game dev lesson too. Don't overthink it. Hold on, I have to check something here. Yeah, good response. Huh. Okay. Next step is to actually do the pickup, right? And so for that, we have a colliders on these, the berries. Each one has a collider, but we don't actually need those. So we're going to turn off those sphere colliders on those and just remove them entirely. But instead, we do want a collider on the berries. So let's add a collider. We'll do a box collider. No, not box collider. Sorry, everybody. We'll do a sphere collider. A sphere collider that we will move up on the y-axis, and we're just gonna eyeball it. Really, it's not that big of a deal. Whoops, it's not that big of a deal. So this is gonna be our sphere collider, and then on our player, super simple player, I named it super simple player so that people know, hey, this is a super simple player. Don't try to use this in your game. It's just a very super simple player. We're going to call this simple first person controller. We're going to call this simple player actions. Simple. You can steal from it, but it's simple. All right. Simple player actions is going to say, well, we need an interaction key. So public key code interaction key is going to be space, the final interaction key. Interaction distance is going to be 1F, we'll say. Any other special things? Interaction layer mask? Nah. I mean, sure, layer mask, we'll do that. Interaction radius, that's the same as distance. Public float interaction angle, 45F, so that's 90 degrees left and right. We'll make this a little bit bigger. So it's 120 degrees that you can interact with. I don't know why it says interaction radius. Time. Now it's just stealing stuff from other things. Okay, so we are going to put header, options, and then public, private, void update, and check interaction. And on check interaction, nope, create method, we're going to say if not oops. Okay, what are we gonna do? We're gonna say, yes, if not interact key down, then we're gonna return. So if we didn't push the interaction key, then we return. We're gonna get hits, an overlap sphere for the distance interaction layer mask, and then if we have no hits, we return. Closest hits, yes, we're gonna need to get closest hit. And for this one, what are we going to do? Find the first hit that is, find the closest hit that is also within the interaction angle of the transform forward. That's not what you need to do. That's not. I don't know why it keeps trying to tell me to do this. That's not it. That's not it. All right. I don't know. Okay. For each var hit in hits. Maybe we'll figure it out now. Var closest hit distance equals some huge number. I'm waiting for the AI to just do it for me. There we go. All right, direction. Transform position minus transform position. So the direction is the angle. Get that. If the angle is greater than the interaction angle, then we continue because I can't see it. And otherwise, get the distance. If the distance is less than the closest distance, then closest distance equals distance, and var closest object equals null. And we're going to call this game object or collider. Closest collider. And then if it's less than the distance and closest collider equals hit, and then we're going to return hit, or no, return closest collider. All right. All right. Collider. What is this? Hit collider. All right. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. A collider transform. All right. Invert this to reduce nesting. Boom. All right, so that should give us the closest collider that we can actually see in viewing in view. All right, and then we will see. We need an interface because each interactable thing might have a different way of handling being interacted with, but we need an interactable thing. So create a script called interactable. And this is going to be an interface, or just interactable. Public interface. There we go. Public void interact. And then we should also check to see if it's interactable. Yes. Ensure object has interactable component. There we go. So if it doesn't have an interactable component, then we continue, because that means it's somehow in our layer for interactions, but it doesn't have the interactable component, so we're not going to be able to do anything to it. So we're going to say closest hit dot get component interactable. You know what we can actually get back is this interactable. Closest interactable is going to return an interactable, and this is going to be closest interactable, and we're going to return closest interactable, and then we can say dot interact. Boom. All right. Yep. I think that will work. And now on our pickup is going to be interactable, and we will have to implement the interact method, and then we will say debug.log interact, yo. All right. Are you following this? Are you getting it? Did you like and subscribe? Let's see if it just works. Oh, I didn't do this. I didn't do this stuff. Did I not do something? I always forget to do stuff. Interaction layer mask. Everything. Just do everything. All right. Uh-oh. That's going to be a bug. We need that to stay with the rest. Oh, that's going to be a thing. Okay, we can fix that, but null reference. Okay, that's something. Where's our null reference? Closest interactable. Oh, yes. We have to say if closest interactable equals null, we'll debug. Whoops. Debug.log. Nothing interactable in viewing range. And then we'll say return. And let's do a little bit more. No colliders of hits dot length. Colliders are interactable in viewing range of interaction distance. No, interaction. Oh, range. What am I doing here? What's going on? Interaction distance and angle, interaction angle. Close that out. Okay. Because I really think it should have been found in that last time, but it wasn't, and we got the null reference exception. Interactio, okay. We just have to get close enough to it. Yeah, so let's up our distance here. Let's see if we do 2. That's probably too far. So let's do 1.5. We'll do 1.5 for the interaction distance. All right, let's fix this other bug real quick. So the other bug is that the position and of this is not matching that. So when we go off, wait a minute. Now it's matching it. Oh, okay. Okay, what we need to do is set the... Okay, it's actually not an issue at all because we're going to have it turned off when we're not interacting with it. All right, pickups indicator. Yeah, so we're going to do private float. No. Private void fade in and private void fade out. And these are actually going to be I enumerators. And we're going to do options, public, float, fade. Time is going to be 0.3. So it's going to be very quick fade. But it's going to fade. So progress bar. Real quick, let me. I just want to see what happens real quick if we do the progress bar. If we fade, yeah, it's not that. If we have to fade both the background and the bar itself. Yeah, okay. So we're going to do that. And because we also need to make sure, oops, discard changes. This one. This needs no image. All right, that's the panel. It doesn't need an image. Okay, so we're going to do a public image progress bar background and assign those to this as well. All right, so we're going to fade both of those. But in the case that it's already mid fade, we need to cache the start fade value because it could be mid fade and we don't want it to jump from mid fade to fully opaque and then start, something like that. So we're going to do private float progress bar alpha start. And okay, background alpha start. Thank you, Copilot. You saved me 2 seconds. Okay, so we're gonna cache start the start alpha values. You already knew what I was gonna do, didn't you? Yes, you did. You're such a good little boy, aren't you? Aren't you? And since we're repeating code here, private void cache alpha values. Do that and then do cache alpha values on both of these. And then we will fade the 2 progress bar images from cached alpha to 1 over fade time, and that's actually not quite right either, but that's okay. It's not going to give me suggestions. Darn. Okay, while progress bar dot image, what is it? Color dot a dot color dot a is less than 1. Okay, now it's giving me some stuff. While it's less than 1, and yeah, I guess we'll just do them So that while the progress bar color is less than 1 alpha is going to be lerp that delta time divided by the fade time. Fade time is 2. Yes, so that's divided by okay, progress bar color background. Perfect. That should be both, and then yield break at the end. And then this is going to be similar, but it's going to be while it's greater than 0. And we're going from wherever it is to 0. And again, we're repeating code here. So we can say set progress bar color to alpha. And this is just going to take that and set those. Okay. And we'll remove these private ones down here. All right. All right, so now we're going to get the alpha and set that. We could move this down here. It's a little bit easier to read if we use a variable, so we'll leave it as such. Okay, so start progress is going to start the coroutine, pick up, cancel progress will stop all coroutines. But that's not true anymore. We don't want to stop all of them. So just stop pick up coroutine. Nope. If okay, we'll use AI for this. Let's update stop all coroutines to only stop pickup if it's running. Yes, when calling it. You can achieve this by maintaining the reference. That's what I thought we'd have to do. Okay, so it's saying current coroutine, but we're going to change that. So we're running progress coroutine. And so we're just going to say in our start progress, if that is not equal to null, then stop coroutine and then start it again. That way there's only one. There can be only one Highlander. And then on cancel progress, just do that. And again, we are duplicating code here. So I will say cancel progress coroutine. And we will invert that. There we go. Move this down here. All right. And why is this not being used? It is being used. Oh, I see. They should be the same values. Okay. Yeah, so we're just gonna keep them the same values. So we only need one of these. Okay. So when we fade in, fade out. So when we start our progress, we're gonna start coroutine fade in. And when we do our cancel, we will also start the fade out. But you might see a problem here. If we have both fade in and fade out running at the same time, a conflict, so we have to cache that value as well. So private coroutine running fade in, and let's just change that, and then we'll do private coroutine running fade out. So then when we do our start coroutine equals that, and running fade in, and our running fade out is this. And we will say if running fade out equals null, then we will do that. So don't run it if it's not null. We'll do start fade out since we're about to duplicate code. So we'll create a new simple method that does this if it's, oops. Oh, there we go. That works. Nope. So we're basically saying if it's null, then assign it to this. We're going to do a similar thing for start fade in. Running fade in is null, start working fade in. So now we can do our start fade out on complete and start fade out on cancel progress, and start fade in here. But we have to do a little bit more on these, because when we're starting to fade out, if running fade in is not equal to null, then we need to stop coroutine fade in. And similarly, if our running fade out is not null, then we need to stop coroutine fade out. All right. So we're going to stop the opposite coroutine, and if we're not already running it, then we're going to start to run it. That way we don't run it twice either at the same time. Okay. So start progress, cancel progress, pickup complete. And we'll do a debug log for that. Okay. So now when we interact, going all the way back to our pickup, we're really going to say pickups indicator dot start progress, and we have our interaction key. We want to know if we pick it up before the process ends, we want to cancel the progress. So we're going to add a new thing here, key code interaction key. And we'll add that there. Key code interaction key. And we're going to do private key code interaction key, and we're going to set that here. And that way, in our This is for our pickup. Start progress. And we're going to do the similar thing here. Private key code interaction key code interaction key equals interaction key. All right, so in your game you might go more complicated than this. This is a simple demo where we just cache the interaction key, and we're going to say if this suddenly is up, then we're going to cancel progress. And we're going to do that in our pickup here. So while progress is null, we're going to say if interaction key dot if input dot key get key up interaction key, then we are going to yield break in the end, and we're going to cancel progress. So when we're trying to pick it up, if we get the key code up, then we're going to cancel progress. You might do this in an event system. That would probably be something that I would do in a larger project. Just do an event system where we know, oh, interaction button, whatever that button is, because it might be a button, it might be a key, depending on the platform you're using. It might, you might have a cross-platform game that one has or allowing people to customize it. So you'll have your interaction button. So an event would be better. For this demo, we're just going to stick with simple. For a larger project, I would do it differently. And let's see if it works. No reference. Actually, let's see if... So there's two things not happening. One is should fade out. We should start it faded out, though, actually. So let's start it faded out. So we don't have to... There we go. We'll start them faded out. See if the fade works, because we actually did two things without testing the first. Oh, we have no... Oh, yeah. Okay, no reference. Okay. Closest interact... Interaction key is null. Wait, no. What's null? Oh. Pickups indicator is null. If we're going to return, but we also want to say a debug.log pickups indicator is not found. Is that what's going on here? That is what's going on here. That's weird because it was found before. Did we how do we get pickups indicator? Find pickups indicator. Oops. We need to do that. There we go. That was the issue. That was the issue. I think. Let's find out. All right, well, now we're hitting space and we're not getting an issue, but nothing's happening, so I guess that's good. debug.log start pickup progress. Progress is 0. Cancel progress coroutine. But we're going to start the coroutine. And start fade in. Debug.log start fade in, and we'll do a similar one for start fade out. Figure out why these aren't seemingly working when they should be. Don't forget to like and subscribe, everybody. Do it, do it, do it, do it, do it now. Or don't. If you already did, sorry, forced you to. Oh, it's starting to fade in and immediately starting to fade out. Okay, that's good to know. But why is this immediately starting to fade out? When we're canceling progress. Oh, I know why. Because I'm not holding down the spacebar. That's my fault. I need to hold down the spacebar. Oh, look, the bar's there. It's just... Okay. So there's a few things going on here. Let's check this out again. Okay, I'm going to be holding down the space bar. It's not, the opacity doesn't appear to be going all the way up. I think the reason is... Why is the reason? Alpha. It should be 0 to 1, right? Let's see something. Right now, the alpha is 0. And then... Where is it? There it is. Oh, it's definitely fighting with something. Why is it fighting? Oh, that's why. This is the wrong way. We should do mathf.move towards current target max delta. That's why. The AI chose the wrong one and I didn't catch it. I think that's why. No, it's not really doing it. Okay. All right, we're going to do another debug log here when we do the fade in. Or we'll do debug.log set alpha to alpha. And let's see what numbers we're getting here. I think I'm starting to get a headache. Yeah, okay. It's giving us low numbers. Alpha equals. Oh, there we go. That's why. That's why. So we don't actually need to start. We don't need this. we need to go from our current target, our current value. So I was wrong. A part of it was me. It wasn't just the AI. It was my AI as well. There we go. Okay. So the other thing is we don't need to cancel. So when I get close, oh, look at that. It's not even fading in at all now. Okay. A few things then. Interesting. It's no longer doing the let's do the AI here. AI actions, new chat. We're going to say running fade in is set, but I want it to be null once the coroutine has finished. I guess, do I need to unset it? I do need to unset it. All right. So we need to reset that. This is in fade in. Fade in. Well, we have to do this on all of these. So running fade in. It's going to be fade in. And then fade out, similar. And then running progress. Pick up progress. Okay. There we go. So the other thing was when I took up my thumb, then immediately went to update progress 0. So I don't want to do that. I think I want to not update that because I don't want it to snap back. I want it to fade out but not snap back. There we go. All right, so now that's working. And when we get to the top, it turns off. Okay, good. And then let's turn off some of these debugs that we don't really need anymore. A couple more things to do. One thing is when we complete, pick up complete, do something here, start fade out, and then we're going to destroy the object. So the pickup indicator is on blueberries, right? The progress bar. Where is it? Pickup indicators on this. So we need a reference back to our object, which happens to live on overlay icon, I believe. So we can get a reference to our overlay icon private, overlay icon, screen icon, and on awake, make this a statement body, and then say screen icon equals get component. I think just get component. Debug.log. If screen icon. Okay. Is null. Okay. I just want to confirm that that's actually going to find it before I move on. Screen icon is null false, so it found it. Okay. Okay, so it finds the overlay icon and then the screen icon dot what is the overlay icon? I believe there is a property that has the object it's attached to. These are all the things I need to add to the documentation. Tracked object. There we go. That I should have just guessed that one, I suppose, but that's okay. Tracked object. We're going to destroy it. So destroy that. Let's see if it works. And then I want to do one more thing. I want the progress bar to show up when we get close to it, and also to fade when we get far away from it, maybe. Or not. Boom. Pickup complete. There we go. So we're going to remove this. That one. The rest, I believe, we can remove the fade in and fade out debugs, but we'll keep the start and cancel. Do I have one for cancel? Debug.log, cancel, pickup progress. Okay. All right, how's that? How do you like them berries? The other thing, though, is if we move far away, then we need to cancel it. See, because we can't be all the way back here and still picking up the berries. That makes no sense, right? So how are we going to do this? We need to do this with the simple player actions, maybe? Interact. Simple player. Where's my? I think I know how I'm going to do this. Okay, we're going to make a reference to this public static simple player actions instance and private void awake instance if instance is not equal null, then instance equals this, otherwise else destroy this. There can be only one, so it's singleton basically. So we've got our instance here, so simple player actions instance, and in our we have our distance here. Okay, so distance. Let's do a new thing. We're going to say public float distance to, and do a vector3 position. Maybe do a transform. Transform. And return to sender to transform position. Target transform. Okay, and we'll make this expression bodied. And then for this, we'll say var distance equals distance to hit collider to transform. And then that means in our pickups indicator, we can say using static simple player actions, and we should namespace these. magicpiggames.northstar. Should namespace all of these. Okay. Should have done this earlier, I suppose. All right. Okay, so now in our pickups indicator, we have our simple player actions reference here. And in our progress coroutine, if get key up, then we break, and also if simple player actions at instance dot distance to this dot game object dot transform is less or is greater than distance interaction distance, then cancel progress yield break. All right, so we're gonna do something here. We're gonna turn that off, and so we just have it here. Okay, so if the distance is greater than the interaction distance, and we can actually do make this a little simpler. Down here, oops, let me just fix that formatting. All right, down here with distance 2, we can also do public float can close enough to interact with target transform, and it's going to return no bool that the distance to is less than the interaction distance. So now in our pickups indicator, we can, instead of doing this, we can say if we're not close enough to interact with, or if the simple player actions is not close enough to interact with instance. Okay, there we go. Sorry, let's go back here. Yes. Game object dot transform. There we go. So if we're not close enough to interact with it, then we cancel progress. So let's see that in action. All right, so it looks like, whoops, it looks like we are probably gain a bull. I don't know what was going on. Why isn't it working? We're not getting any feedback here. Why are we suddenly not getting any feedback here? I changed the distance to if see if that's the issue. What's going on? Why am I suddenly not simple player? Oh, it's destroying the interaction thing. It's in my singleton thing. Let's ask the AI real quick. Am I assigning this singleton correctly? Maybe I'm not. Oh, it's the opposite. I see. Yeah, that makes sense. If it's null. There we go. Again, my bad. My mistake. Okay. Okay, but now it's canceling it right away, so there's that. Okay. And it's canceling it because debug.log distance is that. One of my other methods must be wrong. Distance is 420. That makes no sense. Oh. No. Let's see. This position is moving around. Well, that's something's really up with that. Why is the distance so? Distance 2. Because I was doing GameObject.transform, maybe? Nope. It's really doing... The numbers are just going all over the place as I move. That's not right. Debug.log name is transform.gameObject.name. Let's just confirm some things here. Make sure I know what I'm actually doing. Blueberries clone. Because it's a canvas. Duh. Okay, so it's not that. We have early destroy screen icon tracked object. Let's make a property for this. Private game object tracked object is that. So destroy tracked object, and we will say private transform tracked transform is tracked object transform. Okay. Distance is tracked transform. That's the issue. We're giving a UI position comparing it to a world position. All right. There we go. So now if we start and we run away, we cancel. Boom. All right, there we go. Let's make more berries and just check it out in the end and see what we have going on. See if it looks coolio, yo. All right. Ooh, actually, there is more I want to do. Oh no, those are working. So yeah. So we have the berries being tracked in the compass bar and the compass itself. When we get close, the overlay happens. Ooh, that didn't work. Why didn't that work? Why didn't we get the... We got it there. Looking for the bar. We got it there. How come we didn't get in this other one? That's weird. And this one is not fading. Well, now this one's not working. Okay, well, clearly I've got another issue to deal with. Huh. It's weird that each one has different issues, right? There's probably some, I don't know, there's something. But it's been almost 3 hours for this stream, so I'm going to call it a stream. I want to thank you all for hanging out with me. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't forget to go to the Discord and say hello on the Discord over here. If you have questions, let me know on the forums. Not the forums, the Discord. And I will see you very, very soon. Thanks, everybody. Now, where the heck is my button to stop the stream?